always tell parents, you are not coaches. You are not supposed to talk about the sport to any kid once they come back home from tennis. The coach will tell them about tennis, but you have to tell them about life.
When Sania Mirza played, the whole perspective towards sports changed.
As she started becoming bigger and bigger, she started, voicing concerns. She took Indian women to a global level.
Do you regret not taking that train?
Sometimes.
When did you realize that tennis is also your purpose of your life? Because today, when we speak about tennis in Maharashtra, it is Sunder Iyer sir.
I did whatever destined to tennis.
There's still a misconception which I feel that tennis is the rich people's game. Is that true?
It was true till a point of time.
Sponsorship is the make or break of your career.
It is. Sports is a great leveler. It has no religion. It has no language barriers. It has no rich, poor. This is how sports brings people to even the ground. They are looking at doing the Olympics. By doing Olympics, it is not doing a big event. It is creating an entire ecosystem that will change how the country looks at sports.
आर्मी में या फिर कभी पुलिस ऐसा कुछ हुआ है क्या? ऐसा कोई स्टोरी है क्या? Because I guess that's something everyone is very curious about.
Yes, again,
India worships cricket. But did you know we have produced Grand Slam champions, Olympic medalists, and legends who have ruled the tennis world for decades? Leander Paes has 18 Grand Slams. Mahesh Bhupati is the first one to win the major. And Sania Mirza has broken the records globally and the stereotypes. Beyond this, tennis is a rising powerhouse with players like Rohan Bopanna, Sumit Nagal, Ankita Raina, Maya Rajeshwaran. We are making noise at the international stage. From hosting the ATP to the WTA to the Billie Jean King Cup in 2025, we have brought the world tennis to India. But why is tennis not getting its spotlight? Why is it not getting the attention that it deserves? What is holding us back? And what's next in this big game for India? Let's discover and explore the world of tennis in this episode of Breaking Stereotypes. Get ready to go beyond the baseline. Welcome to the Breaking Stereotypes, where we embrace every choice, empower every thought, and encourage every individual to create a change. Presented by the SAP Media, sponsored by Dr. Stuti Khare Shukla's Elements of Aesthetics, and production partner Pack Studios. I'm your host, Sudakshana Chatla, founder of the SAP Media. Welcome to the show and namaste. Today's guest is someone who is quietly but powerfully reshaping the world of tennis in India. He is not a player, not a coach, but a force behind the scenes, creating systems that allow talent to rise and shine. He is the honorary secretary of the Maharashtra State Lawn Tennis Association and the joint secretary of the All India Tennis Association. Please welcome Mr. Sunder Iyer, sir, the man many call the driving force behind tennis boom in Maharashtra and beyond. So, sir, welcome to the Breaking Stereotypes. This show is all about how we are going beyond those limitations of the society and that of the rules laid down by people, and how we are creating a change without hurting the sentiments of anyone. And you are one of that persons who is out there in the world of tennis, creating a faster change, not just for the world of tennis, but for women of India. And that is how I see you when I look close up, when I have been working with you for a while now. When you are on the field, you're not playing, you're not there as an umpire or a coach, but we see you celebrating and cheering louder than any player. Like even if the player is winning, we hear your voice in the whole stadium. So what gives you that passion about tennis?
first of all, thank you and for thinking that I am fit to be on your podcast, and thank you very much. See, basically, sports is a passion. I mean, any sport for that matter. Whether you when you play it, whether you watch it, whether you are a part of it from inside or outside, it grows on you. And like there are a lot of people who've been playing since they were kids, There are a lot of people who take to sports when they are in school. There are a lot of people who take to sports when they go to college, and there are a lot of people now who are started playing sports uh, when they retire. So basically there is no age bar to get into any sport, and I think once you get into it, then it becomes a part of your life. So tennis for me probably was destiny, and I started as this playing tennis when I was in school, and I was probably in the eighth or the ninth standard when I started it because one of my friends used to play it, and I didn't know too much about it, but just because he played, I went with him, and then that is how my journey in tennis started. And I used to be playing, and I played as a junior. Uh, the first opportunity to travel abroad was because of tennis, because I was playing a decent level. Then we thought that we should travel abroad, and we went to Holland and to play tennis. And that was my first ever journey abroad. And this is how the journey started. Playing, I made a lot of friends uh, because we used to have a lot of tournaments outside Pune. Pune did not have any tournaments. We just had one tournament at that time. But there were a lot of tournaments in Mumbai, and then we used to go to tournaments to play the tournaments. And then I made a lot of friends in Mumbai playing the tournaments. Basically, when we used to play in different clubs, uh, they used to be they needed umpires to umpire the matches, and the prize for umpiring a match would be like a cold drink or a sandwich.
That's it.
And that was fun at that age to earn that cold drink or earn that sandwich or earn that chocolate, whatever.
And how old were you, sir, during
We
this
were I
time?
was about 16, 17 years old
Oh,
at that time. Just finished, sorry, 15 years old.
yeah.
Finished school in the 10th standard. And then we used to do umpiring. From umpiring, obviously there was a need of people to sit down and put matches
Right.
to help the local organizers, because I was from Pune and I had nothing to do when I went back home in Mumbai. So I used to try to spend as much time on the tennis courts as possible. So I used to try and help the organizers to by helping them to put the tournaments, umpire matches, sit with them, and that's how I made a lot of friends, and it was a lot of fun. Then I learned a lot of things when from these organizers, like making the draws, putting the fixtures, because at that time nothing was computerized. Everything was handwritten,
Handwritten.
and so when we used to make the draws, we had to write 100 names, and they didn't have people to do it. So I used to do all this, and I used to enjoy doing it. And because anyway, like I told you, I had nothing to do when I went back to my relative's house or something, and I would try to spend more time there. So I learned a lot of things. I learned the technicalities, and then slowly and steadily playing tennis. So at the age of 17 or 18 years, I did my first tournament in Pune. Because Pune had only one tournament, and we did not have too many, we had many players but no tournament. So then I, along with a friend, collected money from parents at that time, and we put a tournament together. And that was my first ever experience as an organizer to put a tournament together. But I used to work in many tournaments as like linesman, as umpire. So using that experience, then we put this tournament together. It was in 1984, probably
Wow.
and I remember it because on the day of the finals, Indira Gandhi was assassinated, and our
Oh,
finals could not be held because there was immediate curfew after that.
right.
So that is how the journey trans from transform from a player to organizer.
But this was just pursuing purely out of passion. When did you realize that tennis is also your purpose of your life? Because today, when we speak about tennis in Maharashtra, it is Sunder Iyer, sir. For us, at least, it's the same thing. So, when did you realize that this is what is going to be the purpose of my life? Because that's where your whole life changed.
I don't know. Like I said, it's more of destiny because I did whatever destined to tennis. I did my college. I used to play tennis. I traveled abroad. Then I did my coaching in tennis. I got my job. I used to work in a company called Bharat Forge. I worked there. I got a job as a tennis. coach. Yeah. Then I did my journalism, and then I was again doing tennis journalism. I used to write a lot of articles on Pune, on, our young players from Pune, about the tournaments, about the problems as a journalist. So even that I was doing about tennis. I did law. Then I also wanted to do sports law, because at that time sports law was not very, very known, or nobody knew about it. But I did law with a perspective that, okay, tomorrow I can become a sports lawyer. And because also the college, the law college had tennis courts and I could play there, I took admission for law. So there, everything, whatever has happened or the growth has always been because of tennis, and or I was involved in tennis. When I was working in Bharat Forge, thank you to Baba and Sunita Kalyani, we were able to put India's richest tournament at that time. And I'm talking to you when I was a student in the law college. And I will tell you that I missed a semester just for this tournament.
Wow.
And I also then got an opportunity to go to the US. I completed my coaching exam, but I never I didn't want to stay in the US, and I came back to India because I wanted to do something for tennis in India.
But so when we look at your personality, uh, at the back we're like, सर कभी आर्मी में या फिर कभी पुलिस ऐसा कुछ हुआ है क्या? ऐसा कोई स्टोरी है क्या? Because I guess that's something everyone is very curious about.
Yes, again, uh, I actually did my UPSC, cleared it, and I was a merit holder. I got selected to join the Officers Training Academy, and which is in Chennai. And I had a I had a warrant, a travel warrant, which they call, and I was supposed to take the train that evening. But in the morning, like I said about the US, I got a call that there is an opportunity for you to go to the US and for tennis. And instead of going onto the train to Chennai, I probably went to and stood in a line for my US visa. And that's how my journey changed. But I always wanted to be in the at least be in the army, because I had worked so hard to get into the army. Unbelievable. I was so fit and I did so many things, and so that obviously paid off. I was in the merit, and I was like about 52 was my rank for the
Wow.
OTA, which is very, very high. Now when I look at people don't even pass, and after 6 attempts or 7 attempts, I feel that
Do you regret not taking that train?
sometimes I think I should have served the nation. But anyway, I
You're still
decided
doing
I'm
it.
doing it, but in a different way. But army is different. Probably, I don't know, but that was not in my destiny. So again, tennis changed my course,
Yeah.
career.
But I guess here we are from wanting to, be there in the army for the country to bringing tournaments like the Billie Jean King Cup to India and watching India qualify this year. That has been a journey that we are all inspired, and that is the reason we have you here today. The new sports coming up like pickleball or pedal that is driving people crazy. Do you think there's a threat to tennis?
See, tennis is a very historical sport. It has been played over 157 and 20 years, so it is just not easy to erase it. Tennis has a culture, tennis has history, tennis has its own strengths. It is not very easy to play the sport. It is very easy to play a pickleball. You can just go and hit a ball. But tennis requires coordination. It requires hand and eye coordination. It requires lot many more things to be a tennis player. These are emerging sports so if you can play tennis, you can play pickle and pedal. If you cannot play tennis, you can either play pedal or pickle.
Yeah.
If you play pickle, it doesn't mean you can play tennis.
Right.
So tennis is obviously the main
The
thing
core.
for all this. Obviously, because this is not new thing. There has been something called a soft tennis before.
Right.
So there are a lot of offshoots.
Yeah, like all the variations just to make it easier for the people.
People to play. But obviously, people are going to play pickleball, but it also has a shelf life.
Right.
because pickleball is also creating a lot of injuries right now. In the US, so many people who started playing pickleball are not playing pickleball because it is not as easy as it looks. There are more injuries being caused.
Then,
Pedal is too expensive to put.
yeah.
So all these are reasons. Obviously, they are their own sports, their luck. But in the worldwide, tennis, pickle, and pedal are together. Many of the national federations, they run the entire, like in Italy, the pedal ball, pickle ball, and tennis association are the same.
Okay. So it's the same at
Yeah.
the end of the day. It's just a part of
Yeah.
the tennis.
But there are a lot of other things in tennis you can do. There is something called as beach tennis,
Yeah.
which is more like pickle. So we as tennis need to administrators need to promote these sports to counter these sports.
Going back a little bit about looking at sports in India, uh, cricket, will they even know the Shorsha it does? We worship cricket. But when it comes to tennis and the other sports, I feel it is changing now. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it is obviously changing, but you cannot take the due away from cricket. The way cricket is run, no other sport in the country is run. They are thoroughly professional. They know what they are doing. They have marketed their sport well. And I think it is really not good to compare cricket to any sport because they have earned their place in as a sport.
Yeah.
Because everybody has worked over the years. They have they have marketed it so well. I mean, it is a good lesson for all our sports to at least do 5 to 7 or 10% of what cricket is doing today. They've been able to obviously after the 1982 World Cup, everything changed.
Yeah.
But still, it was not as good as it is today because there was no vision at that time. But after that World Cup win, people started taking cricket seriously, started watching it because success has many friends, enemies have none. So success, when you get some success and when you have some heroes, automatically the sports gets bigger. If you look at after cricket, what happened in badminton, we had so many
Yeah.
stars, and all of a sudden, badminton was the number one sport.
Yeah.
Over the years, snooker and billiards, we have world champions.
Yeah.
We don't know sitting here how many people play billiards and snooker in India. It's a large number. So obviously, there is a hero worship in India. If we have many more stars, even in tennis, when Sania Mirza was a star in India and when she did so well, all the girls in Hyderabad started playing tennis.
100%.
When Leander and Mahesh were winning, so many players started playing tennis. So it is we need to create these heroes, and I think cricket has been successful in getting their act together. They have really, ensured that there is a lot of visibility for cricket, and now though they are just so professional.
Yeah, I guess
But
we can see that the crowd speaks. But there's still a misconception, which I feel that tennis is the rich people's game. Is that true?
it was true till a point of time, like I'm saying, even in 1984, 85, when I started playing, or a little later than that. Obviously, it was a rich man's game because the equipment is very expensive. None of the equipment is made in India. It is all to be imported. The balls have to be imported. There is a lot. A tennis court takes a big space. So not too many tennis courts were put in different clubs. And obviously, the entry into these clubs were all very, very are quite expensive even till now. So obviously, it was a rich man's game because it used to take money to play it. Secondly, when you started playing good tennis, then if you wanted to play tournaments, start traveling, obviously you had to spend some more money. It was not easy for a common man to take to the sport. So fortunately for me, my dad being a lawyer could afford it. So that is why if you look at the number of people playing tennis is very low compared to the others. But however, all this has changed. So that is what probably, like I told you, my destiny was that to ensure that we take this sport to the masses, because the masses are not going to come to this sport. So we need to go to their, and that is how I started as a coach also. I did not do too much coaching in Pune, but I did much coaching. See, if you look at the history of tennis, it is more than about 150 years old. So with the British came tennis. Wherever there were British cantonments, wherever there were British clubs, wherever there was Tahsil, talukas, districts, the British put in tennis courts because they needed to play the sport. And so we had tennis courts in a lot of small places like Ichalkaranji in Maharashtra. We had it in Solapur. We had it in Kolhapur. We had tennis in Nagpur, in Gondia, wherever. I mean, wherever the British were, wherever the big railway stops were. So obviously there were courts, and the Shetjis at that time, used to play tennis with the British to build up their rapport with them, to create a network. And that is how the Indians got into the sport. And clubs started coming up, clubs like Deccan Gymkhana in Pune or Pune Club in Mumbai, Bombay Gymkhana, CCI. So these are all 100-year-old clubs, like Madras Gymkhana in Chennai. And this is how the club members were mostly the British people. And that is how, because of networking, because of the business, the Indians started playing it. And that is how Indian tennis became very, very popular after a period of time. But like I told you, it was not for the masses. It was for the restricted, for the classes.
Yeah.
But then that was the one of the things that we should take the game to the smaller area.
Yeah.
And that is how I, as a player, also went into areas like Barshi.
Yeah.
And Ichalkaranji, then Hubli, Dharwad, to play tournaments, because they used to have prize money tournament then. And that was the only source of income. And we used to travel a lot into this place. But there was no coaching.
Yeah.
There were no young kids playing. They were all adults playing, the doctors, the engineers of those areas playing.
So it was more from a passion perspective than
yes,
professional person.
Yes. And that is how I did it. When they have courts, why don't we start coaching? And that is how, even when as a coach, I used to go to Aurangabad, I used to go to Kolhapur, I used to go to Solapur, and then started coaching the kids there. Uh, Solapur now is a big center. We have international tournaments for 10 years. But the first ever tournament in Solapur was done by me in 1988-89. And, that is the first state ranking tournament in Solapur. The first tournament was done by me in Aurangabad. So these are the areas which were never had tennis before. And fortunately, I got these places onto the map of today. Solapur has a beautiful tennis center. Aurangabad has a beautiful tennis center. So I've been able to go to the districts, and I've been able to connect the districts, get the people there, understand. And that is how the whole network of MSLTA was built up. Yeah. Earlier, MSLTA was all about Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, the bigger cities.
I'm from Solapur, so I know that how tennis was never existing, and then today we have the biggest players, global players coming to Solapur, a very small city, and now playing there.
We have an Olympian from Solapur.
Barshi, yes,
Barshi. So, there is a part of luck, there is a part of some thought, and sometimes you only do things probably because you are guided to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, why did I do it? I don't know. Why did I go to Solapur to teach tennis? I don't know, but it started.
Absolutely, and we all can see the result.
Yeah.
On that part. You spoke about legends like Leander Paes, Mahesh Bhupathi, Sania Mirza. I guess when Sania Mirza played, the whole perspective towards sports changed. The entire nation. She was world number one. She was not just breaking global records, but breaking stereotypes. Because for Indian women, sports was only like एक सपना है बस. And then शादी होते ही खत्म हो जाएगा वो. So पढ़ाई करो, डिग्री भी ले लो, देखेंगे क्या होगा. Do you think that changed?
Obviously, I know Sania since when I was doing tournaments from the age of 14 years old. Yeah. And I know her parents, I know her well. When Sania started doing well, and when she started graduating, her first success came when she did very well at the Junior Wimbledon. That is where she came into limelight. And then she got a sponsor who backed her. GVK, who was a sponsor and was a big businessman of Hyderabad, he came in to support her. And he really supported her. And her life changed. Her parents sacrificed everything to be with her. Whether it is a mother or father, her mother used to take her everywhere, push her into it. So obviously, it is not just one player who just comes up. It is an entire system behind the player. So for one player, there are about 7 people who get attached to the player in different ways. And it's a team that builds up. But Sania obviously was again destined, lucky, hard work, everything put together, a great package for sport. One thing Sania did was she changed the perspective of women's sports in India.
Yeah.
Because as she started becoming bigger and bigger, she started, voicing concerns. She started being the leader of women's sports in India. She took Indian women to a global level because there were not too many women who had gone that far. Being a Muslim girl, so many.
She also faced a lot of criticism.
Yes, of course. So that is what I'm saying.
The media was harsh.
Media was not harsh, but the culture was harsh on her. Being very, very, how can a Muslim girl play with shorts or skirts? So things like that. I mean, these are all things that happen. But like I told you, like I told not you, but like I normally say, sports is a great leveler. It has no religion. It has no language barriers. It has no rich, poor. It has no smart, buddhu. Everything it's a leveler.
Yeah.
Once you play, you are playing with anybody of any. So this is how sports bring people to even the ground. It keeps you grounded. It does not let you fly high because success is not permanent. You need to lose, and you win and you lose. So then you start understanding that everything is not about winning.
Yeah.
You learn from losses. So it's a great leveler in a way, and any sport for that matter. It really keeps you grounded because it shows you success and it also shows you the worst times of your life. Yeah. So anyway, but what Sania did for Indian tennis, Indian woman in sports, she changed the thought process. She also broke a barrier that no Indian can do anything, become number one. So she became a number one. So it brought in a lot of belief to people, or it showed people the way that okay, we can also be number one if Sania is number one.
Yeah.
Leander becoming number one in doubles or Mahesh Bhupati becoming gave hope to millions of Indians that we can also become number one.
Right.
Because no Indian had been number one. So these are things after Leander and Mahesh. Now we have Rohan Bopanna,
Rohan
who,
Bopanna.
who wanted to become world number one. So obviously they all broke the stereotypes, the stereocast, and they excelled in life. And I think they deserve a big applause. And they deserve kudos because they broke the system. The system was not with them. They raised their own money. They had their own coaches. They got no support from the system, Indian system then. The government recognized them after they achieved something.
Right.
But on their way to achieving, nobody has been a part of the life except their parents, except their well-wishers or their coaches. And kudos to them, for coming from nowhere and achieving whatever they can so high in life.
You spoke about how sports makes you a better person because it's teaching you every day to win and lose. And there are statistics that I read a few days ago that the top CEOs around the world, especially be it men or women, were sometimes in their life athletes. Do you think sports prepares you to be on the top of the life, be it any field?
Yeah, of course. It is most important that you play a sport. You play a sport because it is learning every time. It is, when you're losing, you try to win. So you try to change your strategy, you try to change your thought process. If you are winning, you don't want to lose. Again, It's the like how safely you can take it to. So it teaches you a lot of management skill. And obviously, even for me, uh, it has taught me so many things personally. You know, basically to deal with people, to talk to people, to to be with the people at the lowest level in the sport. And these are things which make you really, sports humbles you.
Yeah.
And I think when you take decisions, you need to be really focused. You need that kind of vision, or you need that kind of
Mental strength.
mental strength. And I think all this is only possible if you do sports. And I think it's very important for everybody to play sports.
Now, circling back to women's tennis or women's sport, few decades ago, to even think about having a WTA or a Billie Jean King Cup in India was only a dream. Our players had to go abroad always. They had some visa issues or sponsor issues. But today, even the youngest players are getting a chance to play on the home ground, having the home ground people cheer for them. And I know somewhere, especially in Maharashtra, you are the reason behind it. What is the vision of MSLTA and that of Sunder Iyer, sir, here?
See, we about 20 years ago, we read an article how China was investing in their women. And they had made a huge research in women in sports. And what they found out was really amazing is that in the world, every woman is the same height, physique, and abilities. In men, at least you have a guy who is like 5 feet or 7 feet or 6 feet,
Yeah.
or there is a huge difference in the physicality of a man.
Yeah.
But if you look at the woman globally, whether it is Europe, whether it is Asia, whether it is Africa, the women are of the same, normally of the same
Right. The gap is also very less.
height, weight. So when they compete against each other, the results will be much better in the woman rather than the men.
Okay.
Because in men, there is like a huge gap.
Okay.
Like the Africans have different set of muscles. So you can never beat an African runner
True.
in like. But in women, if you look at now what is happening in athletics, our women are beating the Africans.
Yeah.
So this was possible. So China invested money. They did a lot of research and found out that they need to invest in women in sports, because they felt the results at a global level would come in. And then we said, why not us?
Yeah.
We are the same. And that is how at MSLTA we started this entire thing, that let us focus on girls. Let us focus on doing many more women tournaments. Let us focus on giving girls an opportunity. Because obviously giving girls an opportunity is also like a social thing, because obviously girls need to come out of their houses. Girls need to become stronger. Girls need to become independent. Because only if you are able to do this to the girls, the whole society changes.
Right.
Tomorrow, if you want a good crop of young athletes, you need their mother also to be a sportsman.
Yeah.
This was not happening before. The the gender gap in Haryana changed because of sports. Today, many more people in Haryana want girl child rather than the boys, because they feel that the women, because the girls are delivering. If you look at all the medal winners, most of them come from Haryana. Most of the medal winners are getting jobs, are getting houses, are getting rewards. So today the parents are saying that it is better to have a girl than a boy.
It's a good
And so
change.
obviously, so the focus changed.
Yeah.
People now, a lot of people want girls.
Yeah.
A lot of people who have girls want their girls to become achievers. And that is how the whole system in India changed. Girls are getting many more opportunities.
No, there was this news also that more parents, couples are preferring a girl child over a boy
Obviously,
child.
because the whole thought process has changed. The psyche of people have changed. And also, if you look at internationally now, whether it is in administration, whether it is in officiating, whether everything, they are looking at equality. They want a 50% representation. Our government is talking about it. Our government is trying to have 33% reservation for women in parliament. They are having 50% reservation in the local body. So everywhere, this whole thing about women equality is coming in.
Yeah.
And we need to have many more girls, many more women to be a part of this. And because there are a lot of men, obviously, But I always like personally also, I don't have a daughter, but me and my wife also is a tennis official. So like your question is that earlier, after marriage, everything was end. It ended, everything ended. Your whole career in sport ended. Whether you were a player and you stopped playing. But then we changed it. We said, okay, you're married, you know the sport, be in the sport, be in some form or the other. And my wife took on to officiating. She is now one of the world's top officials. So obviously, she has spent 25 years in the career.
Yeah.
So today there is like Radhika Tulpure, who was a coach of the Indian Fed Cup team. She used to be a tennis player, but she did not stop playing tennis. She went into coaching.
Right.
So there are many more opportunities for women in different fields, and I think it is just not being a player. It is also a lot of other support that is now needed for the sport. People have accepted it. People are ready to pay for it, and I think it is so. Sports is not doesn't end where you stop playing. Your another career begins, which is a big thing now happening. So looking at all this, obviously male Indian men's tennis also is now doing very well because a lot of things have changed. Our guys have become stronger. The whole system has changed. Uh, Earlier, our people were the height was 5'4", 5'5", 5'6" was the average height of the Indians. But now the entire genetic has changed.
Yeah.
Now all kids are 6 feet 2 inches,
Yeah.
big, strong. So the food habits have changed. We are eating a lot more protein. We never used to eat protein. Now we are eating more protein. We as parents eat protein, so we obviously put it. So things, the food habits, everything makes it a different ball game right now. So entirely our whole Indian ecosystem in sports has changed. Earlier, our kids used to mature when they were about 26, 27, 28 years old because they were always handheld by their parents. It's an
Right.
Indian culture
Right.
because the parent always used to take care of the kids. In Europe or USA, they kick the kid out when he's 17 or 18 years old. After 18, the kid is on his own. He becomes independent. He thinks independently. He grows independently. But in India, your parents are held holding you till 25, 26. So you really don't have an opportunity to become independent, to think independently, to gauge the world independently. But now all these things are happening.
Yeah.
And
I guess we are more aware now. We are more conscious of our decisions about what we do want to do in our lives or what we want to even eat. Like they say that the Gen Z is now they're not interested in the partying culture or the alcohol culture. They want to play sports. They want to be fit.
yeah,
So I guess that's where MSLT has changed and has taken women's sports seriously.
yeah, obviously we have taken women's sports. We have taken now tennis to the grassroots. We have programs for kids in smaller areas, in the smallest areas, in like grade 3 cities. It's very small cities.
Yeah.
We are now government attitude has changed. Government is coming up with facilities. So now there is a good opportunity for us to, with the government, to create infrastructure. Because in sports like tennis, infrastructure is the biggest challenge. It is very expensive to create infrastructure because it requires a lot of space, it requires a lot of investment. So creating infrastructure is one of the jobs of the association. But actually now it is a great opportunity for us that even the Maharashtra government, Karnataka government, all the governments in India are coming up, so they are creating infrastructure. So all the state associations are joining hand with the government to run the infrastructure, which is obviously the job of the federation.
Yeah.
So things are getting better. Things will get better. Obviously, I'm a very optimistic person, and having come from zero to wherever we are, I really feel that there is opportunity for us to go much, higher than this. But we are all aligning, like everything is aligning together.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has taken 25, 30 years for where we are now from where we started.
Yeah.
And obviously, in my lifetime, in the next 20, 25 years, things will be much different. We are bidding for the Olympics. We are looking at doing the Olympics. By doing Olympics, it is not doing a big event. It is creating an entire ecosystem that will change how the country looks at sport.
Yeah.
I obviously feel positive and optimistic that things are just going to get better.
Well, talking about women in sports, we have a young champ who is doing wonders. Uh, we saw you rooting for her. She is training at one of the greatest academies with the greatest legends of the world. A little about Maya Rajeshwaran. Is she going to make and break the records?
See, obviously in India, every decade there has been one champion. So if you look at the record, obviously there is a hope. But again, it's too early to celebrate because tennis is not a very easy sport. Tennis is played in 210 countries in the world, which is like all over the world tennis is played. It is not like, cricket or where it's only 20 countries, 40 countries, 30 countries, 200 countries plays tennis.
Yeah.
So probably after football, tennis is the sport which is played in all the countries. So obviously the competition is very big, competition is very high. But one great thing for her is Maya is that, okay, I know because I have supported her. Uh, I gave her first sponsorship through Lakshya when she was 13 years old. When, the Indian team went for the Australian Open under 14 team, unfortunately, our federation did not send a coach. But MSLTA sent a coach because one of our guys also got selected.
Okay.
So the coach was sponsored by MSLTA to travel. So he traveled with both. So we know Maya from that time, and obviously she is a special player. But obviously we cannot also put her on her head and dance about it because she needs to prove herself.
Right.
See, as a 15-year-old, she has done wonders, and obviously she has a lot of time on her hand. She needs to work hard. She needs to build her strength. She needs to build her weapons in tennis, and she is on the right track. She has got all the support that is required. If you look at parallelly between her and Sania, I think she is also getting the same kind of support right now.
Right.
So that is why we feel that she will become a world beater.
Yeah.
She should become a world beater.
Yeah.
But again,
It's sport.
it is sport.
Unpredictable.
It is your destiny. And if you're destined, obviously you will do it.
Yeah.
If it is not in your destiny, do whatever you will not be. But we all pray for her that, India needs somebody like a Maya today.
Yeah.
The whole world is looking at. If you look at the boys, today we have a guy called Manas Dhamne, who is again from Maharashtra, 15-year-old kid playing with same like her in Italy where Sinner, the world number one plays. So Manas plays with him obviously. So I met his coach and very very nicely the coach said, don't celebrate too early. So this is a message even for somebody, people who think Maya. He has to lose 100 matches before he wins. So that is the kind of patience that we require, that he should lose 100 matches. If he loses 100 matches, he will become a winner because he has no fear of losing.
Yeah.
He has nothing to fear because he's already lost so much.
Yeah.
So if you win too much, then there is a fear of losing. When you lose a lot, there is no fear. That one fear is gone. So this is how we have to look at that sport, and we have to look at giving that opportunity for them to play 100 matches.
Right.
So that is the job of the association. It is not to make them champion. It is to give them an opportunity to lose, to win. So that is why MSLTA is doing so many things. That is why MSLTA says, okay, it is very difficult in India because India is 28, 32 states, 28 tennis states. If you look at the entire thing, how many states are promoting tennis? Just 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And in 5, only the 5 states take care of the entire Indian tennis tournaments.
The whole tennis.
The whole ecosystem.
Yeah, ecosystem.
So in a country like India with millions of people, 5 states are holding the
flag.
The flag. So, if we become many more tournaments, many more opportunities, many more players. So today we have players, but we do not have opportunity. So then, somebody should come forward. Luckily, we have a great team at MSLTA. All have been growing with us. We are all been together for a long time. And they understand what I want to do, what we want to do together. And that is how there is support, because Maharashtra is like any country in Europe. It's like Spain.
Yeah.
So we are running it like a country, a different country. We do our tournaments. We have our regions. We are doing tournaments there. Everybody's getting an opportunity to play. Everybody's getting an opportunity to participate at various levels. So if 10 states start doing this, obviously the results will be much better. So this is what we are all talking to each other, vying for, trying to help each other.
Yeah.
So now we are 5 and we have been able to do so much. If we become 10,
Just imagine the wave. Like,
what is going to happen?
not just for the players, but even for us as audience or the crowd sitting in the stands. It's our responsibility to show up, to be there, to support them, and to contribute towards their success, because that is a motivation for the players to go on. And we don't want to leave any stands empty, because in Maharashtra itself, we had the ATP, we had the WTA, we had the Billie Jean King Cup this year. We get to see players like Ariana was here. Her first win of WTA was here, I believe, in Mumbai. And then in Indian players, we see Subit Nagal, we see Shrivali, a non-stop win at the Billie Jean King Cup. So looks like the sport is changing in India.
So obviously it is changing. We have many more uh, heroes who could do better now with social media. Lot of people are following the players abroad. Earlier we used to read in the newspaper because it used to
Right.
come next, but now there are a lot of channels who show the matches.
Yeah.
So now we are seeing it as it happens. So obviously there are many more players. I'm very very happy or very confident and positive. This week, if you look at the number of top players in the men's and the top players in women's, the top 8 players, out of that, 5 players are 22 years old.
Wow.
Which is the boys and the girls. So there are top 5 boys who are 22, not top 5, but out of 8, there are 5 kids who are 22. Out of the girls, out of the 8, there are 5 girls who are average age is 22. So what does it mean? That okay, we have a very good crop of players. Now we need to nurture them. We need to choose them, nurture them, support them, push them to ensure that in the next 4 years, these 22-year-old become world beaters. If you are looking at having an Olympic in 2036, which is about now about 10 years from now, these same 22-year-old girls will be 32 years old,
Yeah.
which is their peak.
Of their career, of their
And
life.
obviously, there will be a lot of other guys who come in that way. So now we should, if we are looking at doing that, we should now start focusing to build them up in the next 7 to 8 years. So we still have about 2 Olympic cycles.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of study, there is a lot of thinking to be done. And as administrators, we all need to put our heads together, sit down, and ensure now that we do not waste a whole, uh, you know, chunk of talent, because it has never happened before that we have so many talented kids at one time.
100%. And I guess we can all see the proof. And lastly, for all the players, all the sports players who are out there, their journey ends some or the other day. What should be their plans, that after a certain age, what should you look at life as? And what are the opportunities that one can get?
See, obviously, that is that is the story of Indian sports right now. So the parents tend to push their kids too much into that. They go so much deep into it that if the kid does not do sport, he does not do anything.
Right.
You need to have a real life balance. I always tell parents, you are not coaches. You are not supposed to talk about the sport to any kid once they come back home from tennis.
Yeah.
The coach will tell them about tennis, but you have to tell them about life. Teach them skills which they will, which they're able to do. Be their friends, don't be their enemies, because once you start talking about the tennis, you become their enemies because you are trying to live your dreams into their life, because you have not achieved anything but you want your kid to achieve, and you want to him the kid to achieve anything at any cost.
Yeah.
But then why didn't you do it in your life? It is very simple. You should have done it, and then your kid will do it. But now you are trying to dream your life in your kid, which first of all you should stop. The kid is a different entity, is a different individual. He has his own mind, he has his own problems, so try to be friends. So normally my advice to parents always when I talk if somebody comes to me for advice, obviously, is your role is to help your kid to play the sport. Your role is to ensure that the kid gets the best in sport. Your role is to be the only supporter of your kid. That is where it stops. But you're not supposed to tell your kid how to play a match. You're not supposed to tell your kid why you lost the match or why you won the match. You're not supposed to tell the kid how many mistakes you made because you have never played the sport and you are teaching the kid.
Yeah.
So it is not like that. So you have to leave it at one place where the coach takes over. It is his job to teach how the kid what to do. But again, after tennis, after the match, your job is to go back to the kid and celebrate his wins and losses. Normally, what happens when you win, the kid gets an ice cream. When he does not win, he does not get anything. But if the parents treat the win and the losses as the same, the kid is not will not have any pressure.
And they mentally are stronger. Then.
Becoming strong because he knows that my parent is not bothered whether I win or lose. Because normally when the parent is sitting outside, he always wants him to win. And there is so much pressure on the kid. If people have watched the latest match between Sinner and Alcaraz, Sinner was winning. He had 3 match points to win the title.
Yeah.
But he lost. So obviously there is few minutes can change the entire course of the match. So that does not mean that his parents have gone and fired Sinner because his career is not over.
Yeah.
He is going to come back strong and not make the same mistakes. So which is what you have to tell your kids. The coach will tell them, but you have to teach the kid some music. You have to teach the girls or the boys how to cook food. You have to teach the girls or the boys how to play some music. If there is a girl and she's interested, teach her how to stitch. So, you have to teach them various skills so that they can survive in life. Don't teach them tennis because they're already doing it 8 or 9 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then coming back and sleeping with it is not good. They need to just be out of it when their parents are not talking about it. So these are some things, which is very, very important. And parenting is not, obviously, as a parent, we also feel that हमारे बच्चे ने करना चाहिए, but ये होता नहीं है. And we need to draw a line somewhere. And I think when we start getting this calculation right, kids will start playing without pressure. Results will become better.
Yes, that's a great message for all the parents who are looking at their kids as the future tennis stars. And
It's not only tennis, it's all sports.
All sports.
Because, the parents also invest a lot of time, invest a lot of money.
Yeah, we can see nowadays they're sending their 3-year-old, they have 3 classes.
Yeah.
A music class, then there is a sports class, then there is let's do athletics and gym and this and that.
Some parents leave their jobs to be, it's not, that is not right.
A balance is important.
There has to be a balance. The kid has to either be there or not be there. If he's not there, then obviously there are many more careers.
Yeah.
There are many more careers in the sport. There are many more careers, like in tennis, I can tell you there are 10 other careers than playing tennis, being a professional.
If you can name a few for the
audience. No, you can become an official, you can become a
coach.
Mental toughness, you can become a trainer, you can become a coach, you can become a physio, you can become a tennis analyst, you can, you can become a tennis manager. So many players need managers, so many players need analysts. So, there are so many things.
Yeah, I guess I made my career as a tennis social media manager.
Yeah, see that. I mean, if you would have played, you would have probably
been there.
Yeah, now you understand tennis. Yes. But if you started and you could have done that. So now this is there. You become a tennis writer. So, there are a lot of things which pay you money.
Right.
And probably pay you more money than playing tennis.
100%. We have a short segment which is called the Break It or Keep It. We're going to throw out some myths about tennis. I just want you to tell whether to break those or keep those. Players should stick to one coach throughout their career.
No.
Parents should be the one choosing the sport for their child.
Yes.
Wildcard entries are unfair.
No.
It's okay to sacrifice education for sports if you're passionate enough.
No.
Tennis needs money to survive in India.
Yes.
Indian players rely too much on international training.
Yes and no.
Okay. Would you like to clarify that a bit?
No, obviously, in India also there are very good coaches. We are not depending too much on international coaching right now. Though obviously there are a lot of other factors in coaching like fitness, mental toughness, things like that, which still are quite in a nascent stage.
Yeah.
Rehabilitation, recovery, these are things which obviously need some international intervention. But otherwise, coaching, I think it's coming up well in a
If you
big
could
way.
name your top 5 or 4.
No, it is not about naming anybody, but they are not doing a bad job. I
Okay,
would say.
so we can totally rely on the Indian coaching.
Not totally, but they are not doing a bad job.
Okay. Okay. So we can always prepare them to go ahead. Um, if you don't make it by 18, your sports career is over.
No,
Girls can't take up tennis professionally because of the safety and travel issues,
no,
because still there's a myth.
no, not anymore. Because right now, tennis, there is a lot of safeguarding, and at international level, there is a lot of, uh, you know, uh, there is a lot of care taken about the girls. We have to take a lot of care about a lot of other things. Obviously, it is not like what it was probably.
Yeah.
It is much more easier now.
Yeah.
You can travel by, earlier you used to go by trains and bus and this, but now you have flights.
Mm.
So your life has become much more
Much
easier
more
than it was before.
And sponsorship is the make or break of your career.
It is, but again, over the last few years, I have seen that it is also destiny. If you're destined, obviously you will get the support that is required. Maybe not 100 out of 100, but at least 40%, 50% support comes in different ways, different forms. And if you're destined to be there, it will come.
And to grow big in any sports, contacts is important.
No,
No? So a lot of myths, I guess we feel we blame it on a lot of things here, but the way is simple, just hard work and the right things at the right time.
you don't have to know anybody to become a champion. If you're a champion, everybody comes to you. You don't have to go to anybody. People will find you and come to you.
Well, amazing. And do you believe that Maharashtra is the hub of tennis?
Yeah, obviously, I believe because I'm into the thick of things. I don't know whether others believe, but obviously, we have tried to make Maharashtra like a different tennis, like a tennis country, like a Spain with its own everything. We have our own infrastructure, we have tournaments, we have our own officials, we have our own administrators. Whatever is needed for tennis, we have it in Maharashtra. We are actually independent to do things. We are not dependent on anybody to do any events, whether it is Maharashtra has done an ATP event, Maharashtra has done a WTA event, Maharashtra has done Fed Cup, Maharashtra has done Davis Cup, Maharashtra has done Challengers, you name it, and Maharashtra has done it.
Well, that's how we define. And when we say about Maharashtra tennis, it's you, and that's why we are here today. A great episode for, I guess, all the players as well as all the parents out there who are looking for their children to grow in this field of tennis. So thank you so much, sir. Any last message
Yeah,
for all
it is
the
not about
audience?
me. Okay, I am the face of it, but there is an entire support system behind me. There are a lot of people who back me. It is just I am in the front, but we have an entire council, the MSLTA council, MSLTA members. In the officiating, there are so many people. There are so many people. There is I would like to name my friend Prashant Sutar, who has been, since he has come into the sport, we have been able to do so many big things. It is the government of Maharashtra. See, it is not a one man show. It is a combined effort with like just me being the face of it, but it's the credit is to the entire ecosystem we have, the coaches, the players, the parents, uh, the people in clubs, because it is not alone. I cannot do anything alone. Obviously there has to be somebody to drive it. Okay, I can drive it, but again, people have to follow you. It's not that you can do it on your own. So I would like to just say that, okay, it is a very, very, it's a big team event,
Yeah.
and without it, it's not possible. what we have done to Maharashtra today, we want to do it in India. We want to have the entire Indian system behind us. Only then, tennis can become really big in the country.
That brings us to the end of this amazing and powerful session with Sunder Iyer, sir. This is not just about tennis, but sports as life. This episode is a reminder that breaking stereotypes is not just about questioning the norms, but paving a path for the future, one serve at a time. Until next time, keep questioning, keep believing, and keep breaking the stereotypes.